The final stage of the round is from Markfield to Cossington, taking the path north from Leicester Road and then goes under and briefly alongside the A50 before the route cuts northeastward over the fields and through John Lee's Wood before turning southeast to enter Newtown Linford. Heading through the village, the route picks up the entrance to Bradgate Park by the church, heading eastward until it reaches the ruins of Bradgate House, where it turns north up past Old John's Tower and then downhill to cross Warren Hill Road. Heading northeast through Abel's Wood, the route next crosses the Lingdale Golf Club course and then heads up through Woodhouse Eaves. From the Woodhouse Eaves School it heads east, with the path then crossing a long stretch of farmland before meeting the Great Central Railway track, at which point it circles around Swidland Reservoir before heading into Mount Sorrel past the old quarry. Crossing over the bridge over the River Soar, the route heads under the A6 road and then twists southeastwards alongside the River Soar itself and finally through Cossington Meadows, before we head east into Cossington itself by the church. From there, it's just a short walk down Main Street to reach our final destination. So here we are, final round, I hope, of the round today, starting off in Markfield. Here we go. Nice start along some horses. What's probably less fun is I've almost immediately got to go across the very busy A50. I'm hoping there's a crossing, or a crossing, or basically some way where I don't have to dart across 4 lanes of traffic, given this is the main route to the M1. Doesn't sound too busy. I hope. Ah, it's a route underneath. Good. Although, wow. This is certainly a grimy and very unpleasant part of the round. I believe, Markfield, you have won the award for grimiest section. Yuck. And there's the route to the round. Onward we go. Although, to give Markfield its due, after that very grotty bit, you are immediately released into some more trees. Yeah, I could live with this a bit more. Wow, that was a very horribly overgrown section. Already a bit stung and scratched from that. But here are... Hello, horses. It's a bit of a horse morning today. No, I don't have anything for you. You can follow me if you want. I'm heading out of your field gradually. I don't have anything, there's nothing in my bag. You can't see is the horse is currently snuffling me. Hello. Hello. Morning to you too. Hello. Well, it's the friendliest, most inquisitive horses I've had on the whole round. Okay. But look, there's the way out of the field. Can't say I'm sorry to see it. Horses are quite big animals, and there's quite a few of them here. And they are still following me. Anyway, we're heading up alongside that woods, I do believe, next. And here we are in John Lee's Wood. If you watch any of my early videos, you know full well I love walking through woodland. I particularly like walking through woodland when there's a nice big clear path like this.
This is basically the route down to Newtown Linford, which is our next destination, before we curve through that and into Bradgate Park. Now, locals love Bradgate Park. Personally, I think this is far nicer. I mean, Leicester is supposed to be, you know, part of the New Forest area, and it's good to see that over this side there is, you know, quite a good few clumps of forest. They don't go on for miles, but they go on for long enough for a decent walk. And there's plenty of them too, so yeah, definitely well worth it for a nice little short walk, or if you're on a long walk, trying to pass through as many as you can in a day. I think we passed through another couple of bits like this, although maybe not quite as spectacular as this place. Meanwhile, overhead, the sun is actually peeping out, and that is a bit of a first for the round, it feels like. I think phase 5 I had a little bit of sun for the second half. A lot of this round has been done in the gloom, so look at that. Sunlight streaming through into forest glades. Makes you glad to be alive. And here we are coming into Newtown Linford. Quite a posh little village. Big houses here. But it's quite nice, I quite like it. I've not walked through it many times, only once or twice. Driven through it countless times, particularly on the way to one of the local farm shops to pick up chicken feed. So what we've got here is a bit of a stroll down the road, and we'll be turning into Bradgate. Honestly, that's the worst TARDIS I've ever seen. So, Bradgate Park. I mean, it's pretty. But I always feel it's for those who like their experience of the country to be more commodified and contained and described. Decent car parks, but do cost a bit of an arm and a leg. If we're very lucky though, we'll see some of the deer that live in this park. Anyway, we're heading down here on this quite big and quite public footpath for a little while, and down to Lady Jane Grey's old house, or family's house. And then we're heading north and out of the park, back into the real countryside after that. Oh, some ducks. Well, that's improved Bradgate Park. All ready for me. Do not feed the deer, it can be dangerous to them and you. No ifs, no buts. There they are, there's some of the deer. Keeping a low profile today because I'm coming through. And up ahead, the crumbling pile of the Grey family. Now, while I haven't walked through Bradgate that much lately, I have walked through it a lot over the years. Particularly when I used to live in my old house. There was a nice sort of 12-mile route I could do that just took this as its apex, and then back by one of the local reservoirs, Croxton. So it's kind of nice you're back here, although admittedly because it's a Sunday, it's relatively busy. Loads of joggers, plenty of bikers. But you know, all the same, a nice route to come. But I'll be glad when we're back out into the more sparsely populated parts of the real countryside again. So that's old John, a folly, highest point in Bradgate Park, and more importantly, the final real peak I've got to ascend in the round. Oh, I have to say, I think I found that tougher going than going up Borough Hill. Now maybe that's because that was about 6 weeks ago, and I've totally forgotten how tough it was going up there. But my lord, that felt like hard going. But worth the ascent because, you know, you get a view over pretty much the rest of the round over there. That's the direction we're heading in. Past the reservoir over there, over the hill into Mount Sorrel, and then down into Cossington. Excuse me while I pay some attention on this very steep escarpment with rocks. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to stop filming at this point. Yeah, I think that route was designed to make me fall over while filming, so made the right decision. Anyway, we're going to head out of Bradgate Park now, into the road to the north of here for a little bit, and then ducking back in to some forests, heading down to Woodhouse Eaves. And as I say today, every step I take is taking me closer to home and closer to paths that I tread quite regularly on sort of just strolls around my local village and the like. So hopefully that means I won't get lost. No guarantee of it, because obviously I'm trying to follow the round rather than just the best available footpath. Oh, yeah, Bradgate Park, you weren't too bad this morning. Although, yeah, I remember now, I don't come walking up Old John's very often, because with a full backpack of water and everything, it's heavy going. In fact, I think the side I'm just coming down actually isn't as steep as the far side I came up, so haha, that's probably the trick. Come in this side, on the north side, don't come on the south side. There's my advice for the day. Good to see I was right about more forest today. Just going nicely downhill. Yes, downhill, that's a good thing, isn't it? Through yet another piece of the National Forest. We're now north of Bradgate Park. A little bit of road walking. We had to dodge a few Chelsea tractors and the like. It's a bit of a posh end of Leicester around here in some of these villages, which tends to mean you get a lot more discourteous drivers and their posh cars who don't take much. They pay attention to horses, they don't pay attention to walkers and runners and cyclists much, I've found in my experience over the years. But never mind, we're off the road again. And back down some nice trackways, just some joggers come past me at speed. Well, not that fast actually, you know. They'll be hunting for ages trying to catch up. They did finally pass me. Good to see the nice weather is continuing. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to say I'm too warm, because frankly I've done enough of this round in the rain and the dark and the wind. And today is near perfect hiking conditions, I have to say. So yeah, nice weather to round up on. Oh look, you're entering a golf course. Please prepare to dodge. I forgot there was a golf course there. Let's hope I don't get smacked by a golf ball. Ooh, you're in the driving way as well. Thankfully we're only passing across this quite briefly. Looks charming course. No pitch and putt, which is more my interest. Designed for people like me who just like it. It's fun rather than trying to win at golf. Because I am not very good. But I do enjoy a bit of pitch and putting. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, why don't I do that route more often that comes down from Bradgate Park? And then, of course, I remember the golf course. It's the reason why I've avoided it. Because thinking on a Sunday morning, it's quite an active location. But thankfully we're beyond it now, back into the fields. Still haven't gotten to the bit I know really well yet. So in some regards, still having a nice bit of discovery, or rediscovery I guess. Because I've at least walked that route once or twice. I think I remember the first time I came across it was on a very busy day, people playing golf. Ooh, quality looking style ahead. Well, after the terrors of the golf course, we are now into Woodhouse Eaves, an exclusive, but I rather like it village. I'm not saying that just because I know you've had a shop down here, which were very rare on the first 5 stages of the round. If any shops at all were spotted. Certainly on the west side of Leicestershire and the northern edge, yeah, a lot more villages with shops passing through, but then again, a lot more bigger villages. Woodhouse Eaves has certainly grown in recent years considerably. It's very des res. But anyway, we are down here through this and out across the fields for quite a way, heading towards Mount Sorrel, I believe, after that. Woodhouse Eaves definitely counts as somewhere I used to walk a lot as well. Oh, entrance there to the National Forest Way. We're not doing that. Not today anyway. Have to look and see what that route entails. Might be a fun future route to do. If I can ever persuade Mrs. Lama to take me out on one of these routes again over a number of weeks. I think she's coming to regret offering to do it. Also, I'm fairly sure we must have done most of the climbing for today. I'd looked at my planner and it said something like 500 to 600 feet climb for today. Easily done close to that already. So I'm kind of hoping it's all downhill all the way home now. Yeah, who am I fooling? And now we are in the fields beyond Woodhouse Eaves. And yeah, these are definitely paths and trackways I've walked a fair few times before. It's kind of nice coming back to the familiar territory. I mean, that was always the intention, starting the round as close to my home village as possible. But it also feels, quite sad because all the discovery of the round, all the really unexpected bits, I think are likely to be behind me. I mean, you never know when walking in fields. There's always going to be some unexpected obstacle every now and again, or encounter some wildlife and the like. But for the most part, it's just going to be distance now. It's going to feel like to me. No, it's not quite the same exploration. I am quite sad to be coming to the end of the round. Actually, I mean, part of me is really look forward to it every week. Well, apart the one week I couldn't get out because it just rained constantly. But it's given me something to look forward to every weekend. Right, another section of the round to tackle. So I'm gonna be a bit of a loss, I suspect, when I finish today, because I'll be thinking, where can I walk next? I mean, I can walk anywhere, but so I may have to find another substantive challenge to take up. That said, I have already thought of a nice circular walk to do around some of the north bits of Leicestershire that the round doesn't encompass. So that might be my next video walk, but we shall see. Anyway, might have an easier weekend next weekend and go for a nice short walk for a change rather than a long lollop like today. So after a brief pass over the Great Central Railway, clearly something on today because there was lots of people watching the trains there. Now we're going to be passing around Swidland Reservoir, home of lots of wildfowl, and this rather fabulous bridge. Well, not really a bridge, raised causeway I suppose. I do believe I can see on that far bank over there a lot of geese. But you can't get to them because it's all enclosed. So, good for gooses. Well, here we are on one of the roads into Mount Sorrel now. We're, of course, had to circumnavigate the Mount Sorrel quarry to get up here from the Swidland Reservoir, so that took a little while. But I do know we do go off down here to the right now. A nice quiet back road, Bond Lane. Which is good because this is a surprisingly busy road. As you can see. There it is, Leicestershire Round, Bond Lane. Oh, of course, needed cars going like this as well. Given it's the Women's World Cup final today, which is probably just about kicked off now, I imagine the roads might get slightly quieter in a few moments. Quite a lot of people wanted to go and watch that somewhere. These are probably the last people trying to get to where they're going in order to watch it. One of the reasons I decided to come out today rather than tomorrow. So it might be a little bit quieter out here. Also, because the weather just looks so perfect today, it was hard to turn down. Acorns on that oak tree there. Autumn signs are all around us. Last week I saw the very first tree in autumnal colours. And we are beginning to passage into autumn, very noticeable around me. And today, very few fields that haven't been harvested I've been through. Anyway, Mount Sorrel's down here in about 15 minutes. Here we are coming into Mount Sorrel. There's a lot of very rude things I could say about Mount Sorrel, but the middle of it is quite nice. The sprawling estates around the rest of it I'm less keen on. It's just taken a slight detour to go slightly further than the round. It's one of those cases when walking round the quarry-like areas, ran out of signs, so I had to take a guess, made the wrong guess, walked about an extra half mile. Never mind. So, should have been walking down that road over there, but no, I'm walking over here. So I got to enjoy more of the ex-council estates around the village. Not sure that was a bonus. But it's not raining, so I'm not going to complain about the extra mileage. And anyway, today's walk is a lot shorter. Not a lot shorter. It's supposed to be about 13 to 14 miles today. So shorter compared to the last couple of weeks, perhaps, but not shorter compared to some walks. Anyway, we're going to go left up here, then across the bridge, and then we're going to pick up a route alongside the River Soar. And that route, which runs south of the village of Sileby, is the route to Cossington. And Cossington is where I started the round, and it's where I'm going to end it. Well, Mount Sorrel was a little confusing. There was some signs suggesting there was a route I could have gotten through the back streets, which turned out they built all over, so I suspect those are duff signs. Anyway, down the main street, over the bridge, by the pub, and now we are down by the River Soar, just watching some teenage mega gooses over there. And we are pretty much on this path now, one way or another, all the way to Cossington. So this very much is the home stint now. Sadly, we're going to walk alongside the riverbank all the way, or canal bank. The Soar turns between a canal and a river for a long stretch. There was a tiny field mouse just running along the edge of that bridge there. One bit of local knowledge I happen to have is these are all floodplains, which means if you try and do the round in winter, they're probably underwater. If you try and do it spring and autumn, quite often it's underwater as well. So this is the bit sort of south of Sileby, north of Mount Sorrel. I'm lucky that I'm doing it in August, and while we've had a very wet summer, it's not so wet that this area is underwater for once. I'm not sure I quite fancy swimming the last mile or so to Cossington. But this is it. We're literally running alongside Sileby over there to the left, and Sileby actually runs into Cossington as a village. And very shortly we will see Cossington Church, about half a mile or so I think, a little pier, and that's our sort of route marker to aim for. So all very exciting, everything to play for, as they would say. It is also quite warm. I've not got used to walking in summer heat this year because we haven't really had summer heat. So we're looking forward to sitting down in the shade in an hour or so's time when I get home. One thing, of course, I've forgotten with these novelly lush wetlands is how humid they are on a day like this. And I've actually been walking between a river and a huge lake, huge pond, not lake. So the humidity is absolutely through the roof at the moment. And yeah, I'm not that far from I can hear the A6 behind me. I'm only about half a mile probably from the edge of the village. But yeah. Definitely not used to this August intense heat. It's not even as intense as it was last year. But, oh god, some of the first shade I've had in about an hour. Oh, thank goodness for that. Of course, will I fit through? But yes, I will. Oh, blessed relief, it really is. There we are. Carry on ahead. And as we come to the end of the walk and the round itself, use a reminder, like, subscribe, share, all those good things. Thank you. And this is it. This is the last bit of field track we do. Could be one of the last round signs we see there, because we are just skirting into, here it is, the last field. Oh no, there's more round signs still to come. We are just coming out alongside Cossington Church, and it's past these cows, up a little road, and then into Cossington High Street, and then back to where I started from all those 6 or 7 weeks ago. I wonder how everywhere would have changed in that time. And I wonder obviously how many cheering crowds there'll be there to meet me. I suspect 0. Don't suppose you'd like to give me a cheer, would you, ladies? A bit parade for Lord Llama? No, you're too busy trying to get a bit of shade, aren't you? And there it is, that's officially the end of the round there. Except I started a little further up the road here, so I'm going to get to that first. I'm nothing if not a completist. Cossington, as you can see, is actually quite a charming little village. Nothing like its neighbour. There it is, the sign for the recreation ground. That's where I started from, and so that's where I'm going to officially end my round. Just a few 100 yards extra on the end, just for, old time's sake. So there we go. That's the Leicestershire Round in 7, half days really, I suppose. I hope you've enjoyed watching it with me. If you have, drop me that like, give me that subscribe, and I will see you for the next Walking with Llama's Paws soon.